After testing over 300 games and arc raiders, I've come to the conclusion that not only is gear-based matchmaking real, but also discovered how to trick the system. I started off by trying to be friendly and paying people for info, which worked for a bit, but after a few betrayals and down to my last 2 million, my tone definitely changed. So we need to first understand how the game places you into lobbies. Embark gave us a few hints. The first hint is their priority-based system. More people to interview. Is that our arpeggio?
I think.
Is that level 4?
I don't know.
Well, can you check? I'm trying to get statistics for a video. It's a Mythbusters video.
Yeah, it's a level 4.
From my tests and from what Embark says, it works like this. Their first priority is to put you into games with solos, duos, and trios, whichever one you are respectively. Their second priority is wait time. The third being gear value, and fourth, skill, but this is just a speculation because I haven't tested it yet. Let's think about this logically though. If you don't get into a game quick, many people's enjoyment of the game will go down drastically. It's a historic problem for most extraction shooters. Then if you're solo and you keep getting killed by trios, well, that's gonna kill your enjoyment completely and you're gonna quit the game. And finally, if you spawn in with 100k worth of gear and you get smoked by a free loadout, you're gonna be pretty pissed, especially if everyone you kill has a free loadout. Embark had a massive issue here. They needed to make the casuals happy by giving them infinite free loadouts, but they also know that if you load into a match with a bunch of gear and continue to die by people with free loadouts, you're gonna quit the game. The meta would quickly drift to become free loadout only, not just for the casuals, but also for the try-hard players. Now this is where we get into gear-based matchmaking. Here's the golden nugget from my testing. Above $40,000 loadout places you into high-value lobbies, but below 40k loadout will start to place you into lower tier lobbies and possibly with a bunch of free loadouts. The more you go above 40k loadout value, the higher chances you are to get higher value lobbies and vice versa. Now, how do you crack the system? First thing that I like to do is I like to turn off crossplay because this is going to limit the pool of players you can play with significantly, making the odds of gear-based matchmaking even lower. Because what we have to understand is we have to go back to their priority system. The first thing is they want you to play with solo, duos, and trios only. Then after that, you have the wait time. They want you to have a low wait time so you can get into the game quickly. So just by turning off crossplay, we can make a massive difference into how the gear-based priority system is going to take into effect. But also, if you're going into the game with a very high loadout value, I would leave crossplay on because in that case, you want your best chances to be against other players who also have high value loadouts. You don't want to be versing free kits. This is mostly a toggle setting that I would use depending on where you're at with your own loadout value. If I'm high value loadout, I'm going to go in with crossplay on so I can get the biggest, best gear-based matchmaking for me. But if I want to go in with a low value loadout, I want gear-based matchmaking to not work at all. I want to be able to fight higher value players. So obviously I'm going to turn off crossplay. The second trick that I love doing is taking seeds and putting them into your safe pocket. One stack of seeds is worth $10,000. And if you get a better item you want to put into your safe pocket, like a blueprint, you can always swap it out with the seeds. So this drastically increases your loadout value just by putting 2 stacks, 3 stacks of seeds into your safe pocket, and your likelihood to get into a lobby against higher value players is going to be huge. Now, a lot of people say, well, why are you trying to game the system? Why don't you let the system play how it is? Well, first off, it's 100% worth it to do this because higher tier lobbies, you're just going to get into games with nicer people because they want to protect their gear, right? So the lobbies are just going to be way better experience for you. The second reason why everyone should do this is because if you don't do it, then a few players like myself who know about this system are going to keep abusing it, and we're just going to reap the rewards, and that's going to be the end of it. The more people that know about this, the more people that actually do this, the more watered down it gets and the more fair the game becomes overall. So actually, by releasing this information instead of just holding it to myself like a lot of players are, we're actually going to boost the longevity of this game because people are going to be able to play at their level. And I do expect some tweaks to happen in the future for this as well, as more people start to understand the system and abuse the system. For instance, I think they may just remove the safe pocket from being counted to the gear-based matchmaking, or they may make it so only the weapons are counted, so you can't do the seed trick and things like that. But as of right now, the seed trick for sure works. But I'll continue to do further testing and update you guys. And then one more thing, shout out to the fraudster, the gaming merchant, who tried to say there is no gear-based matchmaking using a 3-game sample size. It's absolutely brutal and really hurts the game when you do something like that. I think when you do these tests, you needed to be deliberate about them and have very, very high volume. These are my conclusions that I've came to with doing all these tests. I'd love to see someone else do, you know, a high value-based sample size so we can really start to zone in on exactly how this is working. There is some speculation in here, but I can tell you for sure there is 100% gear-based matchmaking, and depending on the value of your loadout, it depends on the percentage chance whether or not you're going to get into a equally gear-based match. And the biggest thing, the most important thing to mention about this, which is so important, you can't test this on something like Stella Montis, where the overwhelmingly majority of people are going in with a free loadout, because the game wants to get you into the game fast. So if it's having trouble finding other people who are very kitted to match you with, it's just going to keep tossing free loadouts at you, right? So it's better to do this on, you know, maps that are evenly played, right? Like I think Buried City is one of the most evenly played maps. There's definitely people go in there with free loadout because it's not too far to run, but there's definitely a lot of people go in there with gear. So that was where I tested this. So my testing is limited to just Buried City, but that's my results. Hope you guys enjoyed.